We do another beer review, looking at some Old Milwaukee here. These are 16 fluid ounce cans. These come in, at least where I got it, it was a 6-pack, so it's the equivalent of 9 beers. But they come with the plastic thing on top, you know, thing that kills dolphins if you don't cut them. But pretty cheap beer. I think it was $7.99 or $7.50 for a 6-pack of these, equivalent of 9 beers. What's interesting is I didn't learn this until recently. This is made by Pabst. You know, Pabst Blue Ribbon, same company, Pabst brewery makes Old Milwaukee, which was news to me. But anyway, I'm gonna crack this open and we'll get right to the smell. I'm actually gonna be using the new Halloween cup that Christina just got me, since all the stores have Halloween stuff. Even though it's super cheesy. Super cheap, 99-cent cup for a super cheap beer.
It was $2, okay?
There we go. Alright. I'm pretty sure it's 99 cents, but I'm not going to argue it. Well, let's see. Color is very light, of course. Let's see, is this going to hold the whole beer here? Looks like it is. Perfect beer cup. Plastic beer mug. Alright, so color is actually a little bit darker than a lot of your cheap beer. It's definitely more, it's not quite like an amber color, but it's definitely leaning more towards an amber as opposed to the yellow or a Pilsner, very, very light off-white color that a lot of the other cheap beers have. So as far as the smell, just, you know, generic beer smell. There's not much coming out of there. Maybe a little bit of grain and barley. Maybe a tiny bit of corn. Nothing's really distinctive though. Maybe like a tiny, tiny bit of hops. Well, anyway, on to the taste here. You know, honestly, it's not that bad. And giving this a lot of thought because this is the last one of a 6-pack. I noticed that this tastes very similar to Budweiser. Not Bud Light, not Bud Ice, just straight up Budweiser. But it's sweeter. It has about the same carbonation. It's sweeter and it's more of a thicker mouthfeel. Although it is very, don't get me wrong, it's very much a watered down beer. But it has a better mouthfeel than a lot of the other beers. Excuse me. It actually feels, there's something to it. There's a little bit more body. And the flavor, like I said, I mean, it's not like delicious beer, but if you're, you know, if you're gonna be cracking up a few of them, you know, in a night or something, it's really not that bad. Some of the better tasting beers I found, some of the, you know, the stouts and all the beers that I really like, the darker beers, I can't have 6 or 7 of those in a row. They're too filling. They're wonderful. They're great for sipping on, for really enjoying the flavor and stuff. But if I'm going to be drinking for a longer period of time, you know, lighter beers like this is where it's at. And I think that's why the general public, you know, people who drink on a regular basis, they're drinking these cheap beers because they are very much watered down and they don't fill you up like some of the more flavored ones do. Now, that's a very, you know, general statement. There's obviously exceptions to that. But for the most part, I find that the more beer, the more taste it has and the more flavor it has and the more it has to offer, the heavier it is and the more filling it is for the most part. So something like this, I could drink a 6-pack by myself or even more and not feel disgusting and full and just bloated from beer. Some of the other ones, not so much, right? But as far as cheap beers go, honestly, it's not that bad. Old Milwaukee. The taste is just like the aroma. There's not a whole lot to it. Maybe some grain and like I said, a little bit of corn mixed in, but just a generic light beer taste. Tastes very much like it's kind of in between a lager and a Pilsner as far as the flavor for me. But yeah, you know, it's not a bad choice. I will say that, and it is a very close competition, but between Pabst Blue Ribbon and Old Milwaukee, I like Old Milwaukee a little bit more. Again, very similar flavor profiles, but I do prefer this just a little bit more than Pabst Blue Ribbon. So if you're a Pabst fan, try Old Milwaukee. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to guzzle on this. I'm going to sip it and enjoy what's left of it. This is the last one. But I want to thank you guys for watching, And I hope you guys drink responsibly. Enjoy the rest of your weekend very safely. And I will see you soon. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Take care.